How you doing, everybody? This is Robert Rivera with Who's On First, and we have a special guest. We have Jordan with Protecting the Game. How you doing, Jordan?
Great, thank you.
So, Jordan, explain to what's Protecting the Game. What is it? What is it that you guys are doing?
Protect the Game is nonprofit organization. What we're doing is we are looking for military veterans that we are training, uniforming, equipment, everything to become sports officials. We've started with baseball and softball, and we've had 65 people graduate through our class, and we actually have a training coming up here in the next 2 weeks. We'll be doing a training in Colorado Springs, Colorado.
All right, your volume is going up and down, up and down.
Well, I can move up here a little bit.
All right. All right. So protecting the game, basically what you guys are doing, you're getting military personnel to come in and you're training them to be officials. You started with baseball. What other sports have you guys been doing?
We've really just done baseball and softball so far. I've been umpiring for numerous years and just thought that was the way we should start and going about it because that's where my knowledge is.
What started you guys? Whose idea? Whose brainchild was this?
We also are involved with Triple Crown Sports, and we run youth baseball tournaments and softball tournaments all over the country. One of the people there, Patty Harsh, they were coming up with an idea. Her brother's military veteran and looking at the umpire and the official shortage, and we're trying to figure out a way how to maybe help each other out. So Patty came up with the idea with a few other people in the office to let's see if we can do something for the veterans and give back to them for everything they've done for us.
When a veteran comes to you, what is the cost of this?
There's no cost at all to the veteran. We
Okay.
we take care of everything. We give them, like I said, we give them equipment, we give them uniforms, and we do all the training at no charge to them. A lot of our equipment has come from veteran umpires who replace their equipment every once in a while, so we get donations through that. We've worked with a few equipment companies that have also helped us out. Same thing with the uniforms. So it doesn't cost them anything to do this, and we're just trying to give back to them.
What input have you guys been getting back from the veterans?
I think a lot of things, what they like doing is it's about the camaraderie for them. They're getting involved in another type of group. As you know, sports officials, really no matter what sport it is, it almost becomes like a family. Brotherhood is just great, and they all appreciate that.
What branch is the one that always comes out?
Probably the most that we have seem to be the Army guys. We actually have a Coast Guard guy in there too. So we have them all. We have a lot of the branches.
Any touching stories? Anybody ever come back and be like, wow, I was able to do a championship game? Or
I think more so it's just being involved and just getting back in the game and not realizing, I guess, that officiating can also still be fun, even though, we have our shortage and all that, but just enjoying what they're doing, getting out there, seeing the kids, it's nice to talk to the guys after the game and just realize that they really do enjoy it.
that's one of the things that we're facing now as officials, and not just in baseball, in all the sports. A lot of officials are starting to disappear. I'm seeing a lot of stuff on Facebook of officials being attacked, officials being punched, officials being shoved down to the ground. You're talking about the parents in the stands that are just attacking an umpire verbally. It's becoming a bit of an epidemic. They're talking about anywhere from 50 to 70% of umpires that start in their first year, by their third year, they're gone because they don't want to deal with all this. I mean, how do you guys combat some of this stuff?
Well, I've noticed the same thing. Our umpire numbers alone in baseball are down 50% over the last 2 years. And that's veterans and new guys. And you're right. The younger people don't want to do it anymore. They don't want to, be harassed. And we also partnered up with a group called Officially Human, and they're trying to bring the human side of the official out. And so we're working with them and video, they have videos and things like that. And we're trying to adopt in our tournaments, a policy or how we're going to deal with the parents if they become out of hand, managing our ejections. Coach will sit out the next game. So we're trying to do everything that we can to help the situation. It's definitely a problem when the people don't want to do it anymore. I mean, we've had veterans for years, umpires that they're just done. It's not worth it to them to go out there. They see all the negativity of, like you said, punching, fighting, the verbal abuse, being followed out to their car after a game. Nobody really wants to do it. And until this stops, I think this problem is going to continue.
I've seen some of the leagues have come up with an actual code of conduct for the coaches, the managers, and for the parents. They have to sign or they have to agree with before their child is even let into the league. I believe that's a good start. The umpire for me has been disappearing for 20 something years, 25 years. And I remember my dad umpiring, 3, 4, 5 games in a day. I was about 15 or 16 and I would go and do the bases for him, because he was exhausted. It was a long day for him. And at one point, it was about money. It was like, hey, I'm not going to do this for $25. I want $60. But now some of these leagues are actually paying the $60 and they still can't find anybody to do it.
Oh, they're paying. There's leagues that are actually paying more than that now. And as I've been assigning, there's always been a loyalty factor. And unfortunately now the loyalty factor of a guy working just for me or for just an assigner, those days are going away. There's a lot of umpires that are chasing the extra money. And in some cases, it could be $10 to $15 more a game just because somebody's a little more desperate than the next guy and they just keep paying more and more. And
Right.
eventually something's going to have to give there too. I mean, there's going to have to be a change there of some other point. But yeah, I mean, I understand what you're saying. You talk to a lot of guys and their kids are in Little League. They're the same way. I'm not going to get to my kid's game to the third inning because otherwise I'm going to end up umpiring his game. So yeah, you hit the nail on the head with that one.
Yeah. I mean, so where do you see this going in about 5, 10 years?
Well, we're hoping that we're getting somewhere with getting veterans involved and, hoping we can build on that to get more and more involved. But on the whole, I think there's going to be a lot of trouble in the future. The average age of the umpire here in Illinois is for high school is about 54 years old. I mean, and there's not many young people coming up. So I think the future I think we're in trouble unless we can develop younger kids, veterans or whatever we can do to start getting more people involved. But I think it's really in trouble. I'm hoping that it gets better, but I'm afraid it may get worse before it gets better.
There's a lot of more tournament baseball going on than it was 25 years ago. You have a lot of tournaments. There's Perfect Game. They're a monster within themselves. There's so many more tournament groups. There's so many more travel teams with the dwindling umpires on top of it. It's just magnifying the missing umpire for me. I mean, you're probably losing, 20% of those same umpires every year, but you're not getting any back. And then you're adding an extra, 1,200 games, 1,500 games. So it just makes it that much of a competition going on is what I'm seeing, is what it's looking out to me.
Yeah, it really is. There's more and more tournament games. It's actually crazy the numbers that you're looking at. There's more and more every weekend. There's not enough umpires to go around. Games getting canceled because people can't find umpires. Yeah, it's
a lot of travel ball, a lot of more academies now. Everybody wants to go to academy. We don't get coaches, we play on the travel team, but we go to this academy, and
it's been a challenge. I mean, everywhere, we go with Triple Crown. We've been very fortunate. We've had, our coverage. Yeah, it is definitely magnified for sure. All of us are involved with social media, and I think some that really doesn't help is you don't see many positive things, about the officials or umpiring. It's always bashing them, or you're seeing the videos of the punching and the chasing to the car. And I know when you saw that one video that I had posted on there with the umpire in the wheelchair, I mean,
wheelchair
story. And we need more of that. We need to get the whole positivity back into this thing, and really needs to be taken care of.
Somebody wants to get started with you guys. How would somebody get in touch with you guys?
So with being a veteran, we've also offered it to their families. If they're a veteran and they have a son that wants to umpire, a daughter, a wife, a brother, whatever, we are more than willing to get them involved in our program. In whatever state you are, good thing to do maybe is to go through the high school association. Just the State High School Association, because they're always looking for umpires, and
Mhm.
maybe even reach out to the tournament coordinator and say, hey, who does your umpires? I'm interested. And every signer and everybody that has anything to do with umpires is looking. So if he can get another name, another 5 names, it's just more people to get involved. Protect the Game, my email address is jordan@protectthegame.com. We also have a website at protectthegame.com that has all the information about what we're doing. We have a big golf outing coming up in September, and then we have a real nice fundraiser where we auction off like sports memorabilia and other stuff. So all that's on our website also.
Okay. Now, let me ask you another question. I saw the video there that you had posted. One of the instructors I was looking at, Jim Evans.
Yes, Jim, our office with Protect the Game and Triple Crown is in Fort Collins, Colorado, and Jim lives in Colorado, and I've gotten to know Jim very well through a friend. He's come out and helped us with a few of our trainings. So yeah, super guy, man, a lot of knowledge in that, man. I can tell you that.
Yeah, there is. It's funny because when I did my association, I partnered up with a friend of mine, Jimmy Vicola, and he actually went to the Jim Evans School. And then, of course, I'm a Wendelstadt grad. And we always said the mechanically sound umpire was always the Wendelstadt guy, but the book savvy guy was always the Evans guy. So we always laughed about that. Sometimes I would drive him crazy with my mechanics, and he would drive me crazy with his little mechanics. And it was interesting. I don't think Jim Evans' school is no longer, and he retired. But the Wendelstadt School is still out there. It's still available. I did a show on that, guys. If you guys want to take a look at that, that was a great show. Jim Evans, he's very knowledgeable. He does do a lot of overseas stuff. I know he goes to Japan a lot, and he was very well respected, very well known, and one heck of an instructor as far as umpiring. And you guys are lucky to have him. I saw him on there, and I was looking, and I was like, "What is that, Jim?" And I'm like, "Wait a minute, hold on a second." I had to take a double take. I said, "Well, it is Jim. Look at him go. Look at him go."
He's still got a lot of energy, and his passion for teaching it's honestly incredible. He loves to do it. He probably doesn't know, but he's going to get a phone call from me here in the next few days trying to get him to come out for a day as a, help us out with our training in Colorado. So
that sounds awesome. We also have another mutual friend, Jason Klein, Force 3. Jordan said he worked with him. I don't get $1 from promoting the Force 3. He gave me a couple socks, but I mean the Force 3 mask. Like I told him, I said I believe he really reinvented the wheel. All right, Jordan. Well, I appreciate you guys being on. Good luck. If you need anything from me, you know where to find me.
Great. Well, I do. I appreciate the time, and thank you for your support.
Thank you. Thank you. As we always say here at Who's On First, keep swinging. Thank you.
If you like the show, please do me a favor. Subscribe. Right. You see it? It's right there. Subscribe, share, like, and don't forget, put that bell on. It'll ding you when I put something else on, all right?